Greetings dear friends and welcome once more to this channel. I am 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐩𝐨 from Afro Revolution Company. In this tutorial, we are going to be talking about advanced input types in HTML forms. This is part 3 on HTML forms. Before we get started, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. I'm going to start by talking about some advanced input types in HTML forms. We have the hidden input type, which is used to define a control that is not displayed, but whose value is still submitted to the server. We have the date input type, which is used to display a control for entering a date with no time. Meaning that with the date input type, we are going to get the year, month, and day, but it doesn't give us the time. The next one is the datetime-local, which is used to define a control for entering a date and time, including the year, month, and day, as well as the time in hours and minutes. We have the time input type, which is used to display a control for entering a time value in hours and minutes. It doesn't take into consideration the time zone. We have the week input type, which is used to define a control for entering a date consisting of a week, year, number, and a year with no time zone. You have to keep in mind that this is a newer type that is not supported by all browsers. We have the month input type, which is used to display a control for entering a month and year. It doesn't take into consideration the time zone, and you have to keep in mind that it is not supported by all browsers. Then we have the range input type, which is used to display a range widget for specifying a number between two values. Meaning that here we are going to specify the mean and the max. Then we have the search input type, which is used to define a text field for entering a search query. In this tutorial, we are equally going to talk about the pattern and multiple attributes and how they are being implemented to HTML advanced input types. We are equally going to work on how to add an image and an event in a button tag. So in the next part, we are going to be using Visual Studio Code to implement and to demonstrate all of these advanced HTML form inputs. Yeah, I will still be using my HTML template. As I said, if you need the template, you subscribe and you drop your email as a message. Then I am going to send this template to you. Remember that to create a form, we make use of the form tag, and I have already done that here. And I am using the post method, which is used to send data securely to the server. So I'm going to create my divs, which will save us containers for each of the input types. I'm going to copy this. I am going to start with the date input type. So here, input. Then I'm going to add a label. The next, I'm going to implement a datetime local. The label now. The next, I'm going to implement the time input type. The label. Following, we are going to implement the week input type. Its label. Following, we are going to implement the month input type. Its label. I'm going to copy this. Control C. Paste it back here. The next, I'm going to implement the range input type. Change the type here to range. Next, we are going to implement the search input type. I will see copy this. We are just going to add a button here. So here we have implemented all of the advanced HTML input types. So let me save that. Let's check it in the browser. So you can see our form. So we have date of birth and see here for the date time local and see for the time. Is it for the week, month? For the range, we can adjust our range here. For the search input type, so at this point in time, we have implemented all our advanced HTML form input. Or the next thing we are going to talk about is the pattern and the multiple attributes, how they are used. Let's get back to Visual Studio Code. We're going to add another div label. So we are going to add the pattern attribute here to specify the pattern you want. So this is done using regular expression. Regular expression is a whole topic on its own. So if you need to know more about that, you can check on online resources. So this is still a form of um, client-side validation in which we are specifying that the user must enter a UK number. And as I said, we do that using regular expressions. Now to demonstrate how to use the multiple attribute, I'm going to add another div. For the label. And for this, we don't even need the label and see its use without the label. So let's save this. So you realize that if I'm to enter any number that doesn't, it will say please match the requested format because it doesn't respect or the format of a UK number. And here, with the help of a multiple attribute, we can upload multiple files at the same time. So you can see here we have uploaded 3 files. For the bonus part, we are going to talk about another input type which is commonly used, which is the reset input type. I'm going to create another div for that. So I have added the reset input type. It does exactly what its name says. So if I add something here, and reset. Lastly, I'm going to show you how to add an image onto a button and making use of events. But here we are not going to talk much about events because we are going to probably have a video on that. So let's do that. I'm going to add the height and width attribute to my image. Let's save what we have done. You can see on the images when I click on the image. Thanks for subscribing. Please remember to subscribe to this channel massively. Finally, you have to note that we can equally add a button using the button input type. Okay. So this is another way of adding the button using the button input type. Let's check what we have done. Let me see. You can see it. Take me. Thanks for subscribing. So thank you once more for watching this video, and remember to subscribe, to share, and we meet in the next content. Thanks for watching.